What's going on, guys? What's going on, 27 squad? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another positional preview video on the positional preview series for the New York Giants. This is the series where we go over every single player on the Giants roster throughout every single position. They're going to be, separated by positions. Each individual video will be going by positions. But today we're going to clump up all the offensive line together and we're going to talk about every single player on the offensive line. The people you love, the people you hate, and the people you just don't know. So we're going to be talking about all those guys on the show. Here we go. So first off, we're going to start off with the bigger. Matter of fact, we're going to start off with the guys that we don't really care about, the guys we don't really know. Because you guys will probably not stick around in the video to hear them anyway. So I'm going to force you through it. So we're going to talk about the first guy, the guy that's most interesting to me. That's rookie Austin Droogs Mah. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a picture on this guy. Why? Because the guy has never played college football before. The guy literally tried out for the Giants and made it. He tried out for rookie minicamp and made it. They liked him that much. He's a 6'4", 315 pound guard. The last time he played football was in high school. The guy's never played college football, and he got himself a roster spot. So that's definitely somebody I'm going to be looking for in preseason, things like that. See how he performs, because that's a very interesting story. You really don't see that kind of stuff happen in the NFL. Sure, you got your rugby players and your guys like that, but they're already in those athletics and stuff like that. So, they already gone through conditioning. But this guy literally just got off the couch and said, hey, I want to play some football with the New York Giants. And he got the spot. So that being said, I'm going to be looking forward to Austin Droogs Mah. Next up, we've got James Hagan. A lot of people were excited about James Hagan, the undrafted free agent rookie out of Buffalo. A lot of you guys in my comment section were also talking about, hey, look at this guy, James Hagan. He's not that bad. I remember he was rated best run blocking center in football for 2 years or something like that. He's a bigger guy, not very too athletic at the center position. Not that you really need that, but he just looks a little stiff, a little bit immobile. Maybe that's why he was undrafted. But he's a guy that people were excited about in the beginning, but his name kind of dwindled down as far as we are right now in minicamp. And that's not his fault whatsoever, guys. When it comes to the trenches, you're really not going to hear any names that you want to hear. Any underdogs, you're not going to hear their name until the preseason, until there's full padded practice and things like that. You're not going to hear these guys doing good, doing bad. You're just not. That being said, we're just going to have to see what we get from James Hagan at the guard position, at the center position, I'm sorry. So then we move on to Victor Sulaco. He's a guy that we signed from Cleveland. He's playing a tackle position. He's listed as a right tackle. Don't see too much coming out from him. I honestly don't, so we're going to move on from him. Then we're going to talk about the other center, Evan Brown. He's somebody I believe made our practice squad last year. I know he was with us last year. Don't know if he was on the practice squad or if he made the roster, but I can't remember. But Evan Brown, I don't know. The competition at center is so close right now between Spencer Pulley and John Halapio that I don't know if Evan Brown is really going to get his spot. I think they'll just keep two centers and then keep somebody like a Nick Gates or somebody to play guard and center. We usually do that, so we'll see what happens there. Next, we're going to move on to Brian Mihalik. Right now, he's playing starting left tackle for the Giants right now. He is the starting left tackle right now because Nate Solder is on the bike right now. But he's playing with the first team offense. Brian Mihalik right now. So not that's going to show too much right now. Like I said, when it comes to these offensive linemen during OTAs and minicamp, you're really not going to hear anything from them as far as how good they're doing or how bad they're doing. They're just kind of there. We'll talk about Nick Gates now. He was one of my worst. I mean, I scouted this guy last year because we signed him last year out of Wisconsin, undrafted free agent rookie out of Wisconsin. And I scouted him last year, and I thought he was one of the worst tackles in the NFL. I mean, worst tackles in college. I mean, the guy got blown by almost every single play. So I don't know why we still have him, but it is what it is. He's got a roster spot. Let's see what he does with it. We then move on to Chad Slade, he's listed as a right guard. He's from Houston. He's a veteran guy. He's from Houston, about 27 years old. I assume hasn't done much in the NFL. Probably not going to do much with us. If he does get a spot, it's going to be a very minimal role with us. So that being said, we move on. Then we got undrafted rookie Paul Adams. Paul Adams out of Missouri, who was the left tackle for, left tackle or right tackle? I can't remember. I think he was the right tackle. I can't remember. He was the right tackle for Drew Lock at Missouri. And you know what? I'm not very confident in Paul Adams whatsoever. I watched him on film, and I liked George AA or Big George a lot better than Paul Adams. So if I give a tackle spot to anybody, it's going to be Big George ahead of Paul Adams. As we then segue to Big George, or George Asafo-Adjei, our 7th round pick last year. Hopefully we get something from him. I watched him on film and I had like a good 4th or 5th round grade on him. He looked really good from the very minimal film I watched from him. I think I watched like 2 games from him. So I liked what I saw from him. I did. So as far as that goes, right now by ourlads.com, and I really trust them, he's listed as a guard. I don't know if the Giants really have him at guard. I think they should work him out at tackle. I think he'll be fine at tackle. A lot of people are saying he's better suited to be a guard just because he's that bigger type. But I think he's athletic enough to play the tackle position. I really do. So let's see what happens. But I honestly think he will get a roster spot, whether at guard or tackle. But he's definitely going to be one of those depth offensive linemen. We then move on to Chad Wheeler. Now, right now, he's a starting right tackle because Mike Remmers is still recovering from that back injury. But right now, Chad Wheeler is still the starter at right tackle. He's with the first team offense right now, and he will be replaced. I know he did come out and say that he's not giving up on the position just because they signed Mike Remmers. He's not just going to lay down and give up. He's still going to fight for it. He's still going to put in his all, and I welcome that. I welcome competition. Listen, I'm for the New York Giants. I'm not for a player. I'm for the New York Giants. If Chad Wheeler winds up being better than Mike Remmers, then so be it. I don't care. We then move on, and I'm going to talk about now we're entering towards the starters now. We talked about all the backup guys, and yes, I didn't mention Spencer Pulley or John Halapio yet because we don't know who's going to be a starter yet, so I'm going to mention them at the same when we mention centers. So I'm going to start off with the left tackle position, the starting left tackle position. That's Nate Solder. Listen, say what you want about Nate Solder, how he's overpaid and things like that. Get over it. I'm tired of everybody talking about Nate Solder being overpaid. Get over it, okay? There are plenty of other overpaid guys out there in the NFL making more than him, especially at the quarterback position, okay? Nate Solder, at the time, was the best left tackle prospect in the free agent market that year, and we had to overpay for him to grab him up. Yes, he underperformed with us last year, but if you look towards the latter half of the season, he played almost up to where he should be. Yes, he's the highest paid left tackle in the league. When do you ever find the highest paid player at a position actually the best at their position? You can go through any position, running back, wide receiver, defensive back, safety, whatever. You can go through any position. The highest paid guy is never always the best guy. So he's the highest paid, yes. He's probably not the best left tackle in the league. No. So, as far as Nate Solder goes, I think he's going to be just fine next year. The chemistry was there at the latter half of the season with Will Hernandez. Like I said, with the offensive line, that is the most team-oriented, teammate-orientated position in the NFL, that offensive line. So they all have to work together. That's how they make their money. And with the chemistry that Will Hernandez and Nate Solder has formed in the latter half of the season, I'm very confident they're just going to do the same thing, if not better, next year. We then move on to Will Hernandez, and I'm not going to say Will Hernandez struggled as much as Nate Solder did. I think Will Hernandez was doing just fine. I just think the chemistry was a problem. But Will Hernandez is definitely good. I'm telling you right now, Will Hernandez and Kevin Zeitler is already probably a top 10 guard combination in the NFL right now, and it could get even to top 5 by the end of this season. I really think those two are going to be dominant at the position. Will Hernandez was an absolute steal in the second round last year. I'm very happy we got him, and he's just a mauler. And yes, he struggled a bit last year. He had some rookie mistakes. He's definitely going to get better. This whole offensive line as a whole has gotten a lot better. I just hope he picks up from where he left off last year. We then move on to the center position. Now, this is probably the biggest competition so far on the offensive line with the New York Giants. We have John Halapio at center and Spencer Pulley at center. Now, Spencer Pulley in his time with the Giants has not played bad. He actually played pretty well in relief of John Halapio, who got hurt in the beginning of the season last year, I believe during a preseason game, so he didn't even get to play the season yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong on that. I think he did, either he played the first couple games or whatever, but he got hurt either way, was put on IR, and we had to shuffle through a bunch of guys, and we wound up landing with Spencer Pulley, who we signed last year. But John Halapio, last year, Dave Gettleman and Pat Shurmur both came out. They said John Halapio looked like the best offensive lineman on the field last year. And he's coming into this year, and he's actually competing. He's taking a lot of first-team reps. Spencer Pulley's taking a lot of first-team reps. There's an obvious competition there. It's not one-sided whatsoever. They're really torn on who to bring in as the starter for the Giants center position. We have Spencer Pulley, we have John Halapio. Let's see where that goes from there. But I don't really know who to root for. Like I said, I'm rooting for the Giants. Anybody that's perfect for the starting role, that's the best player, I want him as a starter. Whether that be Spencer Pulley, whether that be John Halapio, we'll have to wait and see. We then move on to Kevin Zeitler, who's obviously going to be our best offensive lineman coming into next year. Kevin Zeitler was just a dream come true. When he was in free agency last year with the Bengals, I was like, oh man, what I would do for Kevin Zeitler. I literally said this. I was like, what I would do for just a dominant guard at the position, just an anchor, the anchor for the offensive line, the one that's going to carry our offensive line to hopefully greatness. And he wound up being the highest paid guard in the league, going to a rival Cleveland Browns from Cincinnati to Cleveland, stays in Ohio, and stays in the division, things like that. I was just so upset. I was so heartbroken. It was between him and Andrew Norwell. I just really wanted any of them. But Kevin Zeitler, I'm so happy we have him now. Never in a million years did I ever think, especially in the Jerry Reese days, never in a million years did I ever think that Kevin Zeitler would be a New York Giant, or even Nate Solder. Even Nate Solder, I wouldn't have think would have been a New York Giant. So very happy about that. Kevin Zeitler automatically brings this offensive line, I don't know, I would say 27th, in that 27-28 range. Just him alone. Forget about all the other additions. Forget about the chemistry that's building between Nate Solder and Will Hernandez. Forget about them. Automatically, with Kevin Zeitler in there, I think we're already within the top 20. We're already in the top 20, from like 27, 28 to like top 20 right there. I think we leapfrog that much with Kevin Zeitler there. Yes, the guard position wasn't really a huge problem as much as the tackle position is, but the guards can help the tackles. It's going to help whoever it is, Mike Remmers or Chad Wheeler there. Chad Wheeler never had an all-pro guard like Kevin Zeitler is at that position. He's definitely going to help him. He'll help eat up some double teams and things like that. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm very excited about Kevin Zeitler. God forbid he doesn't get hurt, but it is what it is. Then we move on to Mike Remmers. Mike Remmers was rated the 16th best tackle in the NFL when it came to tackles, when he was playing tackle. He played guard last year. He struggled mightily last year. A lot of people are thinking that he played tackle last year. No, he played guard last year. That is a whole different position to play. So he's coming back. He's playing tackle now. His natural position, he said it himself, he's way better at tackle than he is at guard, that the Minnesota Vikings made a mistake putting him at guard. So he's playing right tackle. He was rated, like I said before, he was rated 16th best tackle by Pro Football Focus when he was playing tackle. Okay? If you do the math here, that's all tackles. That's not average, because that's all tackles. Okay, that's left and right tackles by being rated. So if he's a 16th best tackle, that means out of 64 tackles, he's 16th. That's way above average. That's in the first quarter. He's in the top 25%. So there's that for you guys. He should play well. As far as that back injury, I hope it's not too bad. As much as they say, they say it's not bad, but I hope it's not too bad. I'll give you guys my projected depth chart right now. My projected depth chart is going to be, obviously, if we keep, I'm going to say we keep 10 offensive linemen. I'll say that, even though we usually keep 8 or 9. I'm going to say 10, just to give a couple guys a fighting chance. So, left tackle, Nate Solder, Will Hernandez, John Halapio, Kevin Zeitler, and Mike Remmers. And then the next 5, Spencer Pulley, Chad Wheeler, Brian Mihalik, Big George, let's say it's between James O'Hagan or Paul Adams. I'm going to say Paul Adams because James O'Hagan, we have 2 centers already, and Paul Adams could be a swing tackle for us. Oh, no, but we have Chad Wheeler for that. I don't know. I'm going to say Paul Adams anyway, guys. I'm going to say Paul Adams anyway. I'll say James O'Hagan gets onto the practice squad. So those are my 10 offensive linemen I'll decide to keep for us for the New York Giants. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next video.